people, these times coming forward, you got to be comfortable being the villain, okay? Because these people are under the law, and Jesus brings the truth and grace. Notice the grace, all right? These people have zero grace, and therefore they get triggered when you tell them the truth, because they've been and fed and drink the lie. And that lie is part of that water they get from that washing tin, and their so-called begotten sons and the religious spectrums and in their hospitals and these types of things. So, the naughty and nice, these words, these curse words, so-called blasphemies against God, never forgiven. Once you understand your God and you see how these people are acting, to where if you do say this one thing, they'll kick you off their show, or they'll silence you, or they'll flip. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that. No man of God would say that. No Christian would say that. No blah blah blah. So that's where they're stealing the inheritance, and they're lifting up the law, they're lifting up the serpent, they're lifting up the side of Moses that Jesus spoke against, and they're worshiping up that begotten son, where they're reflecting that light of that so-called culture, of that amen, that a man, that amen, rah, shish boom ba. So that either way, the Egyptian religion, and that Egyptian religion for the rah, shish boom ba is upon you at its peak, when the Super Bowls are 15 grand a ticket and whatever else nonsense we see going on, and then the $3 or $4 million for commercials. And these are just to tell you the times and days, people. But these people, it should be easy to see how these people so-called have Jesus, who's washed away all their sins, knows past, present, and future, knows everything they're going to say before they say it, knows everything they're going to do before they do it. But yet you're trying to control all these things. He even knows when you're going to try to control it and turn and whatever. Everything's been laid out beforehand. So what are y'all doing? Well, you're the part of that carnal church, and that carnal is coming as that incarnation of Christ has been before you, as we're all the bodies and members of Christ. And Colossians 3:11 tells you we're all the Christ, and Jesus told you he's not the Christ, and he told you in end times there can be many teaching he is the Christ, and people flip out if you tell them Jesus Christ told you he's not the Christ. So they're right there, they're woe to them who are lifting up the law and worshiping the letter when it tells you not to do these things. And that's exactly what they're doing. So that's where the Satan comes in as an angel of light. Hey, I'm Jesus. My name's Paul. My name's Moses. I'm going to control you with this law. The Old Testament, the New Testament, it's all spiritual or carnal flesh bondage. And Jesus said you're either part of the free or the bond. And this is where Jesus is talking about you might have to hate the things that your parents brought into you, or hate your parents on those aspects, because you got to leave the church, you got to leave the religions, the traditions that you were brought into, because you're seeking after truth and grace and those things. And you find out that these people are of the law, and if you don't live by their rules and standards, or by grandma's rules or standards, or by the church's rules or standards, or the hospital's rules or standards, or the school's rules or standards, they kick you and shun you out to society. They kick you out of society, or they don't invite you to their parties, or you don't get invited to dinner, or other things. So that's where, man, so much. Either way, dude, the naughty and nice is pretty easy to see as far as that stolen inheritance, and these people lifting these words, and then it triggers them to where they can't receive the truth. And when you speak the truth, sometimes you get passionate and you can't control your words, because you know these people are triggered or whatever. But It's all for a time, place, and season, because sometimes they're not meant to hear it, because they were made to be blind and deaf, so that if they could see, if they could hear, that they cannot. And they also have these chemicals inside them. They drink shit food, they drink shit water, they drink all these things that control them. They're just walking, fucking, talking, dead zombies. And we're going to see them rise as they realize that their ribs been taken out, that's everything's gone dark in one way, shape, or form, and that bright light, that nucleic acid, is going to come in and shake the old temple.